Well, hi and welcome to my beautiful office. Today's subject is pitting two lenses against each other. The EF 24 to 105 L lens, 2009 technology, against RF 24 to 105 kit lens. Now you're thinking, bit of a mismatch. Why would you pit these two against each other? Well, there's method in my madness. So I'll have a look at the differences between the two and also which one I'll be using into the future. I'm going to be doing this comparison on one camera, and that is the R5C. We're going to be swapping the lens in and out just for a little while so you get a look at the differences between the two. Now the reason why I'm making this video is, now after I bought the kit lens and used it for a while, I sort of started to think that maybe it wasn't quite as sharp as the EFL lens. So after about 4 months of being curious about whether that was right or not, I finally decided to give it a go and just see what would happen. Well, I was quite surprised. It wasn't just that the L lens is that little bit sharper, which would make sense, wouldn't it? It's got more glass in there, more expensive glass. Definitely some differences as I was filming different locations. Now I shoot in manual mode in Kelvin temperature so that I can get in a forest environment at least all my footage be quite consistent right through the years. So I'm using the same camera. Every clip will look the same in no matter what sort of lighting condition that the forest is in, and out in the open forest as well. With the R5C in Kelvin temperature of 5,400. That's what I've worked out is the best for the both lenses that I have. 5,400 Kelvin temperature works beautifully, consistently through the both of them. Why would I buy a kit lens when I already had a wide-angle lens that I'd only use occasionally, just for doing a blog here and there? Because most of the time I use my Osmo action camera for my YouTube adventures. Well, the reason is, well, there's quite a few reasons why I bought this lens. The biggest one is the EF lens is just far too heavy. I don't use it that much, as I said. It sits in my bag, gets used occasionally. So for me, that was the biggest reason. The other one is, that's just as big, is that Canon have upped the game with these kit lenses. And they're cheaper brand of lenses. Better glass. We don't get very much. Actually, you've got to really fight to see chromic aberration. It's almost non-existent, and for a kit lens that's unbelievable. The motors are dead silent. So for stabilisation you can't hear them, and the same with focusing. On the old technology, EFL lens, it's really noisy. So if I have a microphone on top, you're going to hear, if I walk, stabilisation, and just even on a tripod, autofocus. So there's two big reasons for having a kit lens. Quiet, lightweight, have it in my bag all the time, and it's not putting any extra weight on my back. That didn't make a lot of sense to continue with this lens. Now the other things that I was quite surprised at the differences between these two lenses. The background blur is a lot different as well. It's a lot harsher with the EF-L lens when you compare the two. So the drop off as you go back, so this is perfect circumstance, and this is where I saw it in the first place. It was quite noticeable to me when I was filming myself right here. Roll off was sharper, looked odd, whereas the kit lens, the RF lens, just had a beautiful smooth transition between me and then into the background. Now the other differences between the two lenses is that the EF-L lens, I don't get any auto aperture control with the R6 or the R5C. I've looked in the menu and in the owner's manual as well, dozens, hundreds of times, backwards and forwards, looking to see whether there's something I have to switch back on. I cannot find anything, and I've looked online, I've had no information out there. So you have to go fully manual with changing your aperture, which is a pain in the ass when you're filming wildlife. You don't want to be mucking around, you want the camera to help you out in some way. Now both those cameras are really good at very good transition as the light changes. So if the sun comes out and then goes behind the cloud, you're not noticing the changes in aperture as much. It's very smooth. The other noticeable difference between the two is how wide they are. Even though they're exactly the same lens as far as 24 millimeters wide, there is a difference between the two. So the EF-L lens is a couple of feet wider, and that could be down to the fact that we have the adapter on, maybe because it's further away from the sensor. I'm not really sure. Something around that, or whether it's just the characteristics between the two that, yeah, the kit lens is just a little bit tighter. How you going, mate?
Morning, how you going?
I'm going all right. Just talking to the camera. Have a good day, mate. So the differences between the two, yeah, the kit lens is a better option for me anyway. The sharpness between the two, yes, there's a difference there, but it's not enough that would stop me from using the kit lens. That's my lens of choice. Lightweight, quiet, dead quiet motors as far as focusing, and also with the stabilisation, we can have the microphone, a shotgun microphone, right on top of the camera if we want. That makes life a lot easier than setting up other things for your microphone to be on a tripod or somewhere else. Now, putting these two lenses together when we're doing close-ups, the kit lens wins hands down. You can get up a lot closer, so fully zoomed out, we get in just that little bit more. But the differences between the two as far as image, they're pretty close to each other when we're fully zoomed out. The background blur on both of them is really nice. It just changes when we're out wide. It's not as nice with the EF-L lens, but for close-ups of nature, yeah, they both perform pretty much the same as each other. The RF kit lens has certainly been a good choice for me in this moment in time for photographing and filming wildlife. Just an awesome lens. Now the difference between the two in sharpness isn't a great deal. It's only a little bit better with the EF lens. Now I've given you side by side, but I don't think you're going to see the difference. They probably look exactly the same on YouTube's compression. But yeah, definitely only a little bit. So it's, you know, it's not worth me keep going with this lens. It was certainly the right decision to buy this one. You know, I'm not photographing and filming wildlife all that often with a wide-angle lens. So it doesn't make any sense for me at this moment to have the L version or to use this. It's just a waste of money and too much weight in the backpack. Now, even if I did buy the RF-L version in the future, I'd still keep this lens because I am about to buy the DJI Rowan gimbal, the Mini 3. That lens will be really good to be able to balance it properly and quickly rather than having a front end heavy lens like this. And the L version of the RF lens is only like 70 or 80 grams lighter than this. So yeah, for the gimbal, it won't work out very well. The reason why I'm going to buy the gimbal is to be able to follow my subject, Antechinus, the agile Antechinus and Antechinus in general. Being able to follow them through the forest or running across logs, all those sort of things, has been a real challenge with other cameras that I've had. Even the Canon R5C with this kit lens and with this one, the stabilisation is just not good enough. So having a gimbal is going to help me out a real lot, especially when it has legs, so I can use it as a tripod. I can just place it on a rock and let it go, just film normally. That's just going to be so versatile, make life so much easier. Because what I do at the minute is, got it on a tripod, I'll walk from spot to spot as my subject moves over. I'll just walk over, put the tripod down, start filming again. But by the time I set up and get it focused on my subject and all that, it's usually gone. So having a gimbal will free me up amazingly, and I'll get some awesome, amazing stuff. So there you go, a good choice for me. So I hope you enjoyed this video, got something out of it, and I'll have a lot more things like this coming up in the future because I can't go on adventures until June. I'll be able to go on one new job. It's buggered me up a lot for going on adventures. It's tough at the minute. But I'm earning a lot of money and I'm buying lots and bits and pieces, so stay tuned for all the things that I'll be buying, like drones and all sorts of gadgets. And if you'd like to subscribe to this channel and get more of this amazing stuff, click on my pretty little face just down there in the bottom right hand corner of the screen. Hit the little bell, you'll get notification whenever I do anything else. And if you like this video, it'd be awesome if you give me the thumbs up, help my poor little channel grow. And if you want to go and have a look at all the other mad and crazy things I've been doing in the past, click on my icon right here at the end of this video, take it to my channel. I talk about photographing and filming in the forest and open forest environments, birds in flight, all sorts of things like that. Whenever I go on adventures, I always take you with me. And when I buy cameras and camera equipment, I do reviews on them and give you my honest opinion on them. So go and have a browse, there'll be something there of interest to you, I am sure. And just remember, if you don't do, you don't get. So get out there and start photographing and filming wildlife, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.